All right, Shalom. I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua, Bashem, Rakar Kadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS, and Shalom to the bros out here pushing his truth and sincerity. And what I have here is what would happen if every boy on earth disappeared. Now, this is not specifically going into anything major, but this pretty much lay out the facts because now people want to do this thing about which gender is more relevant, and it really is just one big distraction. That's basically all it is. But this is the thing people. This is one of the new things people are trying to get into is, well, what happened to each side disappears when in reality we technically both need each other because guess what? We need to reproduce. We need to do things. There's a reason why women exist, not just solely for babies and sex, which is the main part, but to be a help, to be as a woman, to make sure everything is pretty much in check at home when the man is gone. When the man is gone, meanwhile the man got to go out and provide and do for her or the family. There's a role of the cycle, but people try to separate the two. But here in this society, everything's so messed up. I can't even say things switched because you don't even have men staying home. You got both genders going out, but one's being over top of the other, as they say. So even I'm just going to even go into the video real quick, but for the fact that even this woman is saying that if men disappeared, the world would collapse. The world would collapse because there's no leaders, there's no one running, or even actually, I'm gonna just play the clip because everything I'm about to say is going to say in this clip. We've been saying it for years.
What would happen if every boy on Earth disappeared? First, half of the world's population would vanish, and the ladies left would have the time of their lives until they realize they're out of water. That's because almost all the water treatment operators are men. Then the entire globe's power would go out that night because men make up 90% of mechanics, electricians, and engineers. But it gets worse. Over 70% of the world's leaders would vanish, causing a
Now, I'm stopping there is because we've been saying this without men, you have nothing to run a society. Women can't run a society because they're not meant to lead. We as men are meant to lead as even as we are meant to lead the household. So that's just facts in itself. That shows that we're not equal, number one. That in itself shows we're not equal. So and then you get people who saying, okay, so what if women disappeared? Well, here you go. And I even watched the clip on it. It was some other nonsense, but just to go into it. One, the same reason as men. We wouldn't be able to reproduce. Two, and I'm putting this one in as we can survive without women, but there's a reason the Lord gave us a woman. Not every man needs a woman, just like not every woman needs a man. And the reason I say that is because the Lord do give that spirit to some women where they just want to be alone, where they just don't want a counterpart. Just the same way as men. Some men don't want counterparts, but it's to be a help. We would be fine. We just have some frustration. We wouldn't be able to have sex with no one. Just as simple. And then one reason the God gave in the clip is, and this is wrong, is because he's saying that nurses we would be dying without nurses. But again, we was doctors before that was nurses. So that in itself is wrong. So there's less reasons really to worry about what happens if a woman is gone besides reproduction. They can't keep a society running, but men can. We have, and this is not some bash on women, but we have more of a use than women do. That's why, and I'm even going to pull scriptures on it, that the Lord only called men. Because men are more valuable. Men are more needed because we are stronger physically and mentally. So what I did is I wanted to go further into this thing. It's not going to be a long thing, so I'm going to make it quick. But I'm going to pull out scriptures. So actually, this is Ezekiel 34 and 30. It says, "Thus shall they know that I am the Lord their God, and with them, and that they, even the house of Israel, are my people, saith the Lord." And he's talking about men and women. They will all know. But let's go further. It says, "And ye my flock, the flock of my pasture, are men, and I am your God, saith the Lord," because the Lord set up an order. It's Yahweh Shah, then the men, the woman, then the children. Just as simple. It's a very, very simple order. So, you type in Google, because everybody wants to pull up all this information. Well, let's go to the facts. It says, what gender makes up majority of the workers? It says the selected demographic characteristics. Women's labor force participation was 57.4% in 2019, up from 57.1% in 2018. Not much, right? Men's labor force participation, which always has been much higher than that for women, was 69.2% in 2019. Little change from the previous year, 69.2%. So men make up majority of the workers. You may say, okay, 10% don't mean that much. Well, that's where you're wrong. I'm sorry, this is 12%. 12% is really a big difference. Sure, women are taking over the workforce. They have increased much. Now you got more women working more than men. But here's the problem. And I believe I even pulled up a article about it, that women don't last as long in the workforce as men does. And I'm not talking about over years. I'm talking about in job by job. So, what gender works the most in the trucking business? Says men. Men make up 85% of the workforce. The women ratio to men drops even further. Certain jobs, such as truck driving, 3% women, or technicians or mechanics, 1.5%. So that shows you a big difference. Now, the reason I wanted to go into this is because your truckers, your farmers, your boat drivers, the ones that trade, import, and export, men, hardly women. And again, women may be is probably more women working more than men now. But the problem is they don't last longer. Because again, we are genetically built for work. Women are not. My job, for example, is one of them. Bunch of females at my job. Some men. But every time I turn around, it's a new female. Because the old one quit. The company that that my job is contracted for. Bunch of women. Some men. But every time I turn around, going into that building, a new face of a woman. Because the old one quit. And yet I'm still seeing the same men every time. So that in itself shows that we're not equal. And again, this ain't a bash on women. This is just to set the facts straight, that women have a particular role and men have a particular role. Nowadays, of course, women in this society need to work at this point because the cost of living is just a mess. Esau made it to where women have to work at this point because two people providing for the same house makes life easier. It's just what it is. Now, it says what gender works the longest in labor. However, even among full-time workers, those usually working 35 hours or more, men worked longer than women. 8.4 hours compared to 7.8. Now, there was something else actually. I'm not even gonna. Let's see. Here we go. They even did a chart. This is a chart. Long hours have become a privilege. Those who work more than 50 hours per week. Okay, let's go. Let's start. It says fathers, less than high school, 17%. For women, 5.6. For fathers again, for high school education, 24%. Women, 6.5. Here we go again with fathers, some in college, 29%. Mothers, 7.4. Again with fathers, college degree or higher, 37%. Mothers, 14%. So this is showing a big difference that a lot of people do not want to accept, including women. And you got some men saying that women are stronger than men because it is a dumb reason, because they give birth. You can't become naturally stronger because that's what you are naturally made to do. That's something women are naturally made to do. That's like saying that I'm strong because I lift weights. Sure, I can naturally do that. That's not a hard thing. I'm naturally strong because I'm in my father's. I mean, I'm in my child's life. That doesn't make me a strong parent. That's just something I should be doing. That's something I should be doing. I should be in my child's life. That doesn't make me a strong parent. That's like saying, "Hell, I'm strong for having sex with a woman and getting her impregnated." That does not make me strong. That's just something I can do because a woman can't 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 put the sperm inside herself to have a child. If that was the case, the woman wouldn't need us. Is hell, you in order the women might say, "Oh, we just get it from a sperm bank." Well, guess what? Where does sperm come from? Still came from a man. Does not make you stronger because you decide to pull a sperm out and put it inside your vagina and say, "I popped out a baby. I'm strong." Does not make me strong to say I put my sperm inside a woman and it made me strong. Doesn't work that way. This is the misconception of Babylon. And funny enough, we just there's I could pull it up right now, but there's a article on Google that says that what is it called? The insights or sexism in the US or something like along those lines. It doesn't mention anywhere else. It doesn't mention anywhere else. I think it said the outlook of who is stronger in the US. You don't have Russia with these problems. You don't have China with these problems. You don't have any other country with these problems. The US is the only place that says women can be strong. How? That's what I want to know. How? Because you can't pull the birth thing. Because again, that still got to come through the man first. So that would technically make him still stronger, which men are naturally stronger anyways. Not because they give birth, because we are mentally and physically made to do so. Here's another proof of why men will always be stronger. It says, actually, let me get this scripture real quick. Salakia. Here we go. It says, "For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of God, who is what? A man. But the woman is the glory of the man." Okay, let's keep going. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. That shows you there's no equality here. Where's the equality at? That's what I want to know. Where is the equality? Nowhere. The Lord said, "Hell, he's sorry." And I forgot to say the scripture. That was 1 Corinthians 11 and 7. Not sure if I said that. But back to Ezekiel 34 and 31. It says, and ye my flock and the flock of my pasture are men. The Lord said he selected men, not women. Reasons. And it's not to downplay women. It's not to how it's not to say women can't even be saved. That was gonna probably be more, it's gonna be more women than men being saved. But that doesn't mean they're stronger. So that's, and again, that doesn't mean they're stronger because more women is going to be selected or elected to be up in the chariots, because men need to procreate with these women, multiple women, not one, mind you, but multiple, to give birth to these children. Doesn't make women stronger. They just have a purpose. And that's all that means. It's not more so about who's stronger, but who has a purpose. And the Lord has selected women for a particular purpose of being women. The Lord has ordained and demanded men because of a purpose, because he needs men to rule and run. It's just that simple. And that's why this place needs to be destroyed, because it's stuff like that. That's what's wrong with the society, and this is why this society is always looked down upon, is because of shit like this. That's why they allowed women in the military, the Transformers in the military. Meanwhile, men have their nuts chopped off, not physically but mentally, because guess what? They can't do the things that men could do 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago. Now everything's soft, effeminate, and that's where it becomes a problem. That's why we out there doing what we always have to do. The prophesy, tell this place that it's wrong. Because guess what? All this stuff like this that goes on, and why it needs to be destroyed. Just that simple. So again, I'm not going in this because of the simple fact that this is becoming a trend now. No, it's to set this fact straight that we've been saying this. We've been saying this not to downplay women, but the fact that we got to tell the truth of why y'all have these ideas so screwed up and so wrong. Why everything is so turned upside down. But that's all I have going into that. I just figured I'd just do a quick video on that. So Lord willing, this was a little edifying. And with that, shalom.